Brilliant experts spend 90% of their energy explaining how they help people. And that's exactly why prospects say, "This sounds amazing. Let me think about it." And then they disappear. Today, I'm going to show you how to flip that ratio, and I want you to work through this with me. So grab your Irresistible Offer Blueprint. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you can scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link below. Get it now. I'll wait. I'm Lisa Sasevich, the queen of sales conversion, and what I'm about to teach you might be the single most important thing you ever learn about making offers. I want you to imagine something. You walk into a new restaurant, the owner comes out, he starts reading you the menu, word by word. Here's how we prepare the chicken. It's sous vide at 140 degrees for 90 minutes, then seared in a cast iron skillet with clarified butter. The sauce is a reduction of shallots, white wine, and chicken sauce. We add tarragon at the end. The side is roasted fingerling potatoes tossed in olive oil, herbs, etc. Oh, and they're roasted at 425 for 22 minutes. How you feeling over there? Informed? Maybe. Hungry? Meh. He basically read you a technical manual. You know exactly how they make everything, and you're full of information, but you haven't tasted a thing. Now, imagine a completely different restaurant. The owner walks out with a sample tray, 5 little bites of the best dishes in the house. You taste something incredible. You smell it. You feel it. Your eyes go wide, and you think, I need the whole meal. That is the difference between leading with your process and leading with the transformation. And this is the mistake I see brilliant, caring, talented experts make every single day. I call it the 90-10 rule. I've taught this in 134 countries to over 15,000 entrepreneurs, and it is the thing that separates the best kept secrets from the people who are actually making an impact and an income. Here it is. When you're communicating your offer on a stage, on webinars, in a sales conversation, on your website, even in a DM, 90% of your energy should go to the outcome, the transformation, what your client's life will look like on the other side of working with you. Only 10% should be about the delivery, the how, the method, the modules, the calls, the framework. You just want to give them enough so that they know you have a plan and that they understand the scope of work. But the vast majority is about where they're going to land. I say it like this: they're buying the destination, not the plane. Nobody walks into a travel agency, or let's be real, nobody really goes on a booking site and says, "Tell me everything about the aircraft. What's the engine model? What's the cruising altitude? How many rows?" I mean, sure, we want to make sure it's a nice new plane, but nobody really cares about the plane beyond that. They care about the destination. They want to be on the beach in Maui with a Mai Tai in their hand and the sun on their skin. But that's what most experts do. They give great value during their presentation, and when it comes to making the offer, they get all wrapped up in the delivery model, in how they're going to deliver it, instead of staying focused on the outcome, the transformation that the potential client will enjoy. Now, they get wrapped up in talking about how many coaching calls there'll be or sessions are included, the hours of additional training in their online portal, because we work so hard, we want to talk about it, right? All the extras they're throwing in with the package, the plane. And then the expert is baffled. They think, I just included hours and hours of value. I threw in thousands of dollars of delivery. Why aren't they buying? Here's why. And I need you to really hear this because it is counterintuitive. When you give people too much of the how, too much of the process, too much about the delivery, the plane, you fill them up with all these how-to details, and mentally they feel overwhelmed by all there is going to be to do. How much work it's going to take, all the calls, all the content, all the hours of things that you promised, and they get bogged down in that instead of staying connected to that outcome that brought them to you in the first place, the thing they really want. And that's what happens when you over-explain your process. You stuff your prospect with information, and a stuffed prospect doesn't buy. They say, "Let me think about it." They love you, but they don't buy from you. Sound familiar? Keep in mind, this is not because they're not interested, because they really did come to you and they're contemplating how this is going to feel, how this is going to work, right? They really are looking. You want to keep them basking in the vision of the outcome, that desire that brought them to you in the first place. So when you flip the ratio, when you go 90% destination and 10% plain, the whole dynamic reverses. Now they're hungry. They're thinking, I want that result. I want that outcome. How do I get there? And then you explain that 10% about your system, your method, your unique delivery, the calls, whatever it's going to take to answer their question so that they have some clarity. And you find that you're not convincing. You're not pushing. You're inviting. You're pulling forward. Okay, let's make this real for you. Pull out your Irresistible Offer Blueprint. We're going to do this right now. If you did the pillow test from the last video, you've already got some powerful language about your transformation in your client's actual words. So that's the destination language. That's the 90% that we want to lean into. Now, look at step 5 on your Irresistible Offer Blueprint. That's where you name your offer. And then I want you to think about how you typically describe what you do. Look at your website. What you say should be right in front of you. When someone asks what you do, I want you to do a quick audit. And for every sentence you hear yourself say or you see on your website or that's in your pitch, ask yourself, am I talking about the what, the destination, or am I talking about the how, the plain? Mark it up. Destination, plain. Destination, plain. Be brutally honest. For most people, the first time they do this, it's a revelation and a shocker. They realize they've been leading with their certifications, their number of sessions, the hours of coachings, the meetings included, how many pages in the workbook, all plain. And the transformation, the thing the client is actually caring about, gets forgotten once they start making their offer, if it's even there at all, to be honest. This is also very easy to see, again, if you take a look online at your sales page or your website. Do it. Look and see when you get to the offer. Is it all destination or is it mostly plain? It's so powerful to take a look and tell the truth. What's your ratio? And if you're like most of the entrepreneurs I work with, it's flipped. 90% plain, 10% destination. And this is actually hard to hear, but wonderful news because you can do something about it. And this is what's going to transform the they love you, but they don't buy from you into yes, when can we get started? So here's what to do with this. Go back to the words you pulled from the pillow test from our last video, those transformational outcome-laden words, those destination words, put those at the top. Use them throughout, lead with them, put them on your website, speak with them. The first thing people read should be destination. On a sales call, when you're making your offer, even when you're going through the deliverables, stay focused on the outcome that those deliverables will bring. Always stay focused on the outcome. It's clean, it keeps you brief, it stays inspiring, with just enough destination in there, of course, to show them that you have a plan. Your clients are not buying your modules or your weekly calls or your framework. They are buying what their life looks like when the problem is solved. That's the destination. Sell that 90% of the time. Sell that. Okay, let me give you your homework because this will change your business if you actually do it. 1, do the destination versus plain audit on your website, on your offer, anywhere it is, and how you describe what you do. Mark every sentence. Are you describing the destination or the plain? Number 2, rewrite your offer. Destination first. Use the pillow test language. Lead with it so that they are connected and continue to be connected to where they're going, not necessarily how they're getting there. 3, open your Irresistible Offer Blueprint and really spend time on question 1 and 2, using everything we talked about in this video and the last one. The transformation in their words. That's your gold. That's your 90%. If you do this work, I promise you, the next conversation you have about your offer is going to feel completely different. Not just for you, but for the person you're talking to. Because when you lead with the destination, people don't feel sold to. They feel understood and they feel inspired to want more. So work that blueprint and I'll talk to you soon. Do the destination versus plain audit this week on your website, your offers, your sales conversations. Rewrite your pitch leading with the transformation. If you don't have your Irresistible Offer Blueprint yet, scan the QR code on screen or grab it free at the link in the description. And make sure you're subscribed There's more coming that you won't want to miss.